Our first keynote is held by James Chisham, who is a Senior Director of International Products in Oracle NetSuite. James is responsible for NetSuite product development in EMEA. But unfortunately, James couldn't join the live event, but he was kind to send us his keynote. We will hear what's new in NetSuite and get a sneak peek for NetSuite 2020.2 new features. So let's start off with our first keynote of the day.
Welcome everybody, and thanks for joining me for this Oracle NetSuite What's New and Next session. My name is James Chisham and I'm Senior Director of International Product Management. I'd just like to take a couple of moments to thank Staria for giving me the opportunity to talk to you today, and also to everybody on the call for taking time out of your busy diaries to hear about some of the things that we're doing in international product management. I'd just like to draw your attention to our safe harbor statement. So please don't make any buying decisions based on anything that you see here today. And I'll also be making some forward-looking statements and talking about some of our future plans and strategies. So again, please be wary of that under our safe harbor statement. I just wanted to start to give you an idea of our mindset and our strategy of thinking around the development of the NetSuite product. And certainly as I look after international teams, what we look at really is acting global and being local. And what we mean by that is really delivering a rich set of global features, allowing your business to grow and expand as you grow, and then also delivering those local features to give users, teams, the experience that NetSuite was designed for them, but also meets local statutory and compliance needs. So this is really what we do, our mission statement in product. And today I'll be going through a few things, talking a little bit about our strategy, looking forward and some of the things that are driving the developments that we make, and also talking a little bit about our 2020.2 release, the most recent release of NetSuite, and some of the exciting new features that you can expect. So I wanted to start briefly and talk a little bit about our global financial strategy and industry trends. I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail here, but some of this will resonate with you given the current environment that we're all working in. And this is really guides us in some of the things that we do. So ultimately what we're seeing in a lot of our customers and a lot of finance teams and departments is that CFOs are striving to be a strategic business partner. And really what we want to do and what they want to do is have a strong drive towards automation, streamlining transaction level processes, potentially using new technologies such as blockchain, but certainly looking at things like machine learning, robotic process automation, and artificial intelligence. So really looking at these to drive business outcomes at a much faster rate and with a higher quality, moving finance teams away from recorders of transactions to deliverer of insights. The other thing that's very important, and I've just said this with our mission statement in international product, is that global expansion is extremely important and something that a lot of businesses are looking to do. And so indeed, what really are the core tenets for ERP is kind of that effortless support of compliance and ensuring accurate reporting at country and local levels, and having that baked into your ERP system. That means if you move into a new jurisdiction or country, you're safe in the knowledge that NetSuite will be the platform that can support you and ensure that you remain compliant in any market that you wish to move to. And then finally, the other thing that we've been thinking a lot about, and we'll see some more of this coming within NetSuite, is a continued focus on financial planning and analysis. This is super crucial right now to ensure that the business are managed well, and we understand how the business is performing, and we can make planning decisions moving forward. Wrapping into that some financial close solutions, particularly as part of core financials, and we'll see some updates in NetSuite from those aspects, ultimately driving towards a bit more of a corporate performance management capability, which again, we'll look to embed in core NetSuite as we move forward. Ultimately, part of those trends and what our analysts are telling us is really looking at continuous accounting, and really the end of the notion of record to report in its previous fashion. So if we look at some of the pillars here, modern cloud GL, real-time or almost near real-time processing, no batch processing, very much data rich, continuous global consolidation, multi-currency, multi-company, auto elimination and consolidation, so that at global be local. And that moves into immediate globalization, being able to internationalize, localize, and deliver that statutory reporting under that umbrella of GRC, etc., that I've mentioned. Extremely important. And certainly in the area of continuous global consolidation, you'll see some features that we're delivering around reimagining our intercompany capabilities and our new intercompany framework, which you'll find that is going to help a lot of our customers. And then finally, on the right-hand side, there is actionable intelligence. We've seen some of the trend towards automation, and we've mentioned AI, machine learning. The important thing for us here at NetSuite is to make sure that use of those technologies is personalized, contextualized, and drives that automated processing that companies are looking for. So, under the broad headings there, we want to be agile, we want to be collaborative, and constant governance is important. And I can't stress the importance of that in terms of the work that my teams do. We have to ensure that, we maintain our levels of governance and compliance. And for us, that's job number one. And how are we doing all of these things? So what you'll see, and over the course of the last few releases of NetSuite, we've been very much growing our technology. And we've been doing that in three areas, from UX, or what we call user experience, analytics, and platform. So if we take each of these from a user experience perspective, we really want to enable users to do their jobs quickly, easily, and enjoyably. Anybody who works with any type of software will understand that if you enjoy using that application, then you're going to get greater rates of adoption, you're going to get greater rates of efficiency. So we're looking at ways in which we're refactoring our whole user interface, making that consumerized with intuitive navigation, redesigning interactions, easy to use tables and grids. And really building on the theme that we've had for a long time is role optimization, looking at work centers, work lists, to form a real personalization, which ultimately takes that to using NetSuite really efficiently and at a consumer grade on laptops and tablets and other mobile devices. In the center there is analytics. Some of you may have seen our fairly recent release of Suite Analytics. If you haven't seen that, I'd urge you to take advantage of that. Suite Analytics is our new reporting capability in the heart of NetSuite. Really, something that will resonate with accountants and finance people, in as much as that we can now have a pivot table capability within core NetSuite itself to build quite complex reports and advanced tools to enable you to build multi-level joins, set operators, working with large data sets in an easy, understandable fashion without having to get into complex coding or anything else to make that powerful for you. So very much about visual data discovery, so being able to see trend graphs, KPIs, etc., driven off our analytics engine, which will take us through to providing things like predictive analytics, prescriptive analytics, etc. And then finally, the platform, and this can't be underestimated. As you will know, NetSuite upgrades twice a year. where we introduce new features, maintenance fixes and updates. And all of our customers are on the same line of code. But what our platform enables you to do is make changes and configurations that help you and your business. And that will ensure that you can still upgrade twice a year seamlessly. So underneath the covers, if you will, we're moving to a new generation of infrastructure, a new generation of JavaScript, moving to fully RESTful APIs, and introducing things like custom transactions, the ability to build your own transaction types. And we've recently updated our custom transaction capability again within NetSuite, which we think will be a huge benefit to many organizations. So our technology remains important to us, as well as underpinning that with things like OCI, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. So using the very latest technology that Oracle's biggest customers use, those technologies and that infrastructure will be available to NetSuite customers also. And ultimately, going full circle with all of these things, intelligence delivered day one on any device, anywhere. Right now, in periods of change, lots of global challenges, things happening at a fast pace. Intelligence and getting information out of the system will be hugely important, will be critical for moving forward to support growth, etc. So this is where we're getting to. So, automating processes, moving away from transaction heavy systems to really start deliver value, from the integrated suite. So that's where we're looking, and that's what's driving some of our strategy. What's also becoming extremely important to us, and again, working with organizations such as Staria, our good friends and close colleagues, is that we have an extensive partner ecosystem which helps us drive additional growth. We have a rich and wide suite that covers many areas, but we don't do everything. There's going to be some things within specific micro verticals that NetSuite won't move into, that won't deliver out of the core product. But with our applications marketplace, which you can draw similarities to other vendors in other areas, we want people to be able to go to our marketplace, work with our partner ecosystem to bring in, point solutions, extended applications which can help you in your business in whatever area that might be, whether that's shipping or anything else. And so what we'll see in actual fact moving forward is working more closely with a defined set of partners to help drive a best of breed solution for our customers. So this will be an important area for us moving forward. And again, working with organizations like Staria is absolutely critical to that strategy. Okay, so that's part of our thought process, is driving what we do with NetSuite. So now I wanted to talk a little bit about our recent releases and capabilities that we've delivered. Clearly, every release that we do, those biannual releases, lots go into those. I simply don't have time to talk about every single thing that we've done in NetSuite. So I'd urge you, if you haven't, to look at sneak peeks, look at Suite Answers, look at other resources available to you, and indeed speak to Staria, who can help you with some of the new features that have been delivered. So what I'm going to do is to pick out a few of the highlights for you today, and some of the things that we think are quite exciting in the new release. Right now, more than ever, cash and cash management is extremely important to organizations. Cash is the lifeblood of pretty much every organization. So part of the work that we've been doing now for a few releases, probably starting back probably as early as our 17.2 release, we've been working on our cash management capabilities, and a big part of that is banking integration and intelligent bank reconciliation. So we've put a lot of effort into this area, and we've got some exciting updates coming for 20.2. We're now at the point where we can start to analyse bank statements and actionable steps on an enhanced dashboard portlet. We're now able to connect easily and simply to financial institutions in EMEA, and certainly coming beyond with our new Bank Feed Suite app. I'm particularly excited about this one, and I'll touch on this in a moment in more detail. Ultimately, it's going to give us automatic nightly bank statement imports without any manual actions. Along the way, we can automate bank data matching with our new intelligent rules engine. We can improve matching over time by creating and updating matching rules. And we can review and exclude bank data from match bank data to reduce clutter in that process. So again, if I refer back to the top of the presentation, it's about automation of processes, making things simpler and easier, reducing the time to do some of these processes. So what I'm able to talk about today, which is very exciting, is a new capability that we're launching in EMEA, is bank feed integration for businesses outside of the US and Canada. In the 20.1 release, we provided a new direct connectivity for our North American customers, and I'm very, very pleased to announce today that this will be coming for our EMEA customers. So what does it do? Well, with this integration, all of our international customers can now connect to their bank to get real-time banking information seamlessly. So it will be a direct connectivity through to your financial institution, covering some 2,000 or so institutions across Europe. So why is it exciting? So it's going to decrease tedious and manual tasks at the close. It provides opportunities for controllers and accountants to analyse results and better understand what's going on in the business. So in a very simple fashion, we'll be able to have the capability that you select your financial institution. Within a few clicks, you'll now have a direct feed to your bank, and we will automatically pull transactions into NetSuite for you and roll those straight into the reconciliation process. So we've been wanting to do this for some time, and so we're very, very pleased to announce that we're now having that capability within core NetSuite. Additionally, within this release, we've added the ability to auto-create posting transactions from bank imports. So bank imports will now be able to support deposits, credit card charges, bank charges, etc., refund transactions based on defined rules. So basically, again, why this is exciting, it enables exception-based automated bank reconciliation and auto-creation of transactions from bank data. So again, eliminating that time-consuming manual effort and data entry error as NetSuite automates this process for you. So in conjunction with our connectivity, you can see that our capabilities in this area are increasing greatly. Additionally, we'll be able to have expense report credit card integration. So our first effort, this was to bring in American Express corporate cards within the NetSuite expenses module to populate expense lines from credit card charges. So expense reports are one of the most used transactions in NetSuite, particularly for service organizations, and are tedious and error prone. So as we move into better credit card integration, that greatly increases user adoption, reduces data entry errors, and streamlines the expense process. So another exciting capability there. We've also extended some of our capabilities around expense reporting policies. So provides controls on expense reports with policies to warn or disallow creation of expenses by an employee to ensure compliance is met. So again, that GRC piece that I've spoken about. So making sure that we're compliant around expense categorization, per diem maximums, requiring descriptions and attachments to expense reports. So it's going to give you a much tighter control and notifications to align with company policies and client contracts, as an example. So really useful in terms of managing the policy cycle about expense reports. So again, a nice feature that we've dropped in. Also, for any of those of you who work in, projects, service organisations, we also now have project manager notifications. So this provides a project manager with notifications about their project and allows them to take action to resolve any issues. So the 20.2 release will include the following notifications: any missing time that anybody has on a project, time to approve, and also expenses to approve. So as a project manager, we can start to manage by exception and proactively address project issues. So moving on, another exciting update that we have is invoice grouping or invoice consolidation. So this was probably number 1 or number 2 in our most highly requested features within NetSuite. And we're pleased to announce that after a 20.1, doing some early adopter customers, we've now made the feature generally available. So what does it do? So essentially it enables you to easily consolidate multiple invoices into a single group invoice that is delivered to the customer. Payments can be accepted at the group level and are applied to individual invoices. So why is this important? Again, why is this exciting? It reduces manual effort to group invoices that's often tedious, error prone, potentially done outside of NetSuite, and ensure those invoices are delivered to the customer accurately to decrease day sales outstanding and improve cash flow. So, again, I'd urge anyone who's been looking for this type of capability to take a look at this new feature in NetSuite. As I say, very, very highly requested, and we're pleased to deliver this in the 20.2 release. Again, as I said at the top of the presentation, one of the things that we've been doing over the course of the last few releases is working on a new intercompany framework to allow better processing of intercompany transactions and charges. So one of the things that we've done in 20.2 is introduce the intercompany cross-charge automation feature. So it enables accounting to what we call true up intercompany accounting of the cross-subsidiary fulfillment workflow by starting a process that automatically posts cross-charge transactions between subsidiaries. So basically, when you have a multi-subsidiary organisation and you have those intercompany cross-charges, initially in this phase within the fulfillment area, it's going to enable you to really reduce the amount of time that you spend each accounting period with posting, matching, reconciling intercompany transactions. The automation reduces that effort, accelerates the period close process. So you'll have a cross-charge workbench, you'll be able to see a view of each of your subsidiaries and the intercompany transactions that are there, and effectively NetSuite will automate that process for you. So again, another nice new feature. Another thing that certainly in my experience a lot of our customers have been asking us about is intercompany accounts payable and accounts receivable netting. So basically what this does is will provide you with a grid balance view of intercompany open payable and receivable balances, which will be broken up by subsidiary pairs per each individual currency. And accounting users can then net their mutual balances through a netting statement. The system then will create settlements for selected transactions for both subsidiaries. So again, why this is important, it reduces the number of open intercompany transactions and repeatable manual effort required to manage those open balances. And as a framework, what we'll see over the course of the next 1-2 releases is an extension of this to a more broader AP and AR netting capability, particularly where you might have, an organization who appears as both as a customer and vendor, and you want to do some netting. So again, the first step into providing automation to some of these processes that take organizations quite some time. The other thing that we've been working on, as we see a lot of organizations working towards a shared service center approach or a centralized purchasing and billing capability. So what we have now in 20.2 is our cross-subsidiary receipt capability with centralized purchasing and billing, which allow customers to streamline purchasing by consolidating purchases from across different subsidiaries. And that's the important thing here, is that's across different subsidiaries, and make vendor payments from a central local team or department. So again, all about increasing productivity with the simplification of the workflow, reducing the number of purchase orders across subsidiaries. What we're hoping this will do is facilitate better spend management by combining all requests from several locations to a vendor and AP reconciliation with one single bill. The benefit of this really is suppliers know where and whom to contact, which makes supplier interactions much easier. So, moving very much more to that centralized finance function, which a lot of organizations wish to do. So obviously we've talked a little bit so far about some of the kind of financial, deliverables that we have. Obviously, again, as I've said, there's lots of things that we cover. So if we look at a different aspect now, perhaps a bit more on the products side of business, one of the things that you might have seen or you've heard about is some of the new intelligent features that we have. And so fairly recently, we introduced the concept of our supply chain control tower. So basically, this is intelligence to that workflow for a products company. So this new feature here is about intelligent predicted risks for sales orders and purchase orders. So it provides users with greater insight into potential risks on goods not shipping on time, because clearly that's going to be important to you. So with NetSuite giving you these predicted risks, companies can achieve better customer retention by identifying potential issues ahead of time and addressing them in a proactive manner. The flip side to that as well is when a purchase order is identified at being risk, the system may also provide alternate vendors based on new machine learning algorithms to provide similar to supply to meet the manufacturing and or distribution requirements. So again, pulling it back to the main theme of the presentation at the beginning, using actionable intelligence for workflows that are critical for our customers using NetSuite. So again, we're pretty excited about the move into our predictive capabilities in this area. So I've covered a little bit about 20.2, and this is just a really quick highlight of some of the things that we're delivering. We're really excited about some of the things that we're doing, particularly the bank connectivity capability. It's something that customers across Europe have been asking me about for some time. Along with some of the other things in there as well, intercompany, centralized purchasing, etc. Some really key and important updates. And as I say, there's many more. So I'd urge you to talk to Staria. Certainly reach out to me or NetSuite, and we're more than happy to help you. I've covered these things very quickly today. I'm sure there will be some questions, and we're happy to follow up on that. But what I also wanted to do as well, you know, while I have you here, is to talk about next and future, some of the releases that we'll be having coming up, and some of the other things that we're also working on. You know, we're constantly looking ahead, how we can improve, and what else we can deliver. So again, I've spoken about artificial intelligence. We've just spoken about some machine learning that we're delivering. And we're looking at a number of things here, leveraging the power of the Oracle Analytics Cloud, looking at blockchain technologies, looking at robotic process automation. So we're going to see a move, you know, you'll see this more prevalently across the suite as we move forward. So that's very much a theme of what we're doing. And again, drawing it back to some of the things that we've spoken about, a few areas that we'll be working on. Accounting is important. So we're looking at ways in which we can automate complex journal entries, how we calculate and apply allocations, maintaining fixed assets. And also, as we've seen, and the journey that we're on with cash management, performing and documenting reconciliations, not only bank reconciliations, but also GL reconciliations. Moving into accounts payable, processing expense approval requests, you know, completing audits, that's really important, duplicate supplier payments, etc., and performing two or three-way invoice matching automatically. Moving into other areas, automating cash management, as I've spoken about, preparing external reporting templates, etc. And then looking at planning and analysis, building standard management reports, consolidation and validating budget and forecast inputs, and gathering, cleaning data for analysis. So, you know, moving much more into that area and providing some intelligent tools to enable you to do that. And then accounts receivable, really important, you know, looking at things around AR aging, how we can automate and improve that process. We've spoken about some of the things that we're doing with days sales outstanding, DSO. So that's important. And another big thing that we're working on as well is applying cash to outstanding balances. So automating that process as well. So there's a focus on finance automation, and we'll be bringing that in. And, you know, this is all under the umbrella of the Intelligence Suite. So as I say, I'm not going to go through this in any detail, and I'm sure we'll make slides available to you, but looking at various elements across the suite, how we can give you intelligent insights. You know, I've spoken a little bit about the supply chain control tower and the predicting risks that we've already delivered, through to intelligent automation. So again, you know, automating some of the processes that, you know, can be fairly labor intensive, and to make those better and quicker. And also delivering things like exception-based approvals, okay? Setting some complex rules where, you know, if there's a transaction that you want to approve within certain thresholds, you only want to deal with it if there is an exception, if there's something unusual about the transaction. So automation there. And then looking at things like intelligent interaction. So natural language interfaces, chat interfaces, dynamic dashboard content based on your usage of NetSuite, personalized search based on searches that you've done previously. So that's really what we think about as the Intelligence Suite. So as I say, everything that we do, we have a view of intelligence. You know, what can we do to make these things easier and simpler for our customers? And so automation is a focus, as I say, efficiency, intelligence, and compliance. So that runs across many things that we do in NetSuite: revenue recognition, lease accounting, whether that's suite billing, NetSuite planning and budgeting, or balancing segments. So we'll see that running through everything that we do. And ultimately, for us, it's about investing in the modern finance function. So the key pillars here for us, again, control and compliance, international expansion is critical, and my team, you know, work very hard on localization aspects for the product. Compliance is our number one task. Then shifting to productivity, how can we do these things quicker? And then how can we show those things? How can we reveal that to you as a user? So it's about visibility of the things that we have in the suite and intelligence. So again, running through those things to deliver a really important a piece of capability to you. And running through this, we'll have three key strategic investment areas. It will be about empowering businesses to execute more effectively. We do see businesses growing, and Richard will be talking about some of those growth strategies a little bit later to you. But it's about structuring your enterprise the way you want. It's about doing business anywhere. And as I say, it's about simplification, automating local, global, and performance reporting. We then want to support customers with sophisticated business processes. So as I say, I've spoken a little bit about some of the exciting things that we're doing in cash management. You need to virtualize your business via an intercompany framework, take out some of the complexity. So again, with some of the AP, AR netting, etc., the new intercompany transaction processing, hopefully that will, aid you as organizations do business in any country, and also ensure that you have corporate performance management. And then, obviously what we want to do is we want to future-proof your system and drive decision-making, future-proof that investment. So again, real-time data, business intelligence, suite analytics, artificial intelligence, and again, looking at things like machine learning, robotic process automation, and considering newer technologies such as blockchain. So that's where we'll be putting most of our time and investment. And then if I just kind of take core financials, because typically that's the lifeblood of what most of our NetSuite users use and work with to a now, next, and future, we have some core themes, the things that we're working on. So of critical importance to our development is our intercompany framework. The second one, cash management, compliance, general financials, global support, operational support, and analytics, intelligence, and experience. So they're the kind of the developmental themes. So as I say, if we look down the now column, we've spoken a little bit about our new intercompany framework. We've spoken certainly about cash management, a revised bank reconciliation capability, some intelligent matching capabilities, as well as now the new bank connectivity to enable you to seamlessly connect directly to your financial institutions. We've delivered that now within 20.2. I haven't had a chance to talk about it today, but the new evolution of tax reporting in NetSuite, Suite Tax, we'll be more overtly pushing and talking to customers about how they can adopt that new technology, which will ensure that our tech set engine is compliant and compatible and will be right for your business for the next 5-10 years. Also, in there, we haven't spoken about them today, but, lease and revenue accounting enhancements that we've delivered. In the general financials piece, balancing segments, certainly for anybody who works in, non-profit organizations, balancing segments, fund accounting, etc., is hugely important. So NetSuite moving to support that. From a global support perspective, my team have delivered new localizations for France and for Germany, extending out through Singapore, China, India, and many other parts of the globe, and that will continue. Operational support, we've spoken about consolidated invoicing or invoice grouping. And then from an analytics point of view, again, I've touched on Suite Analytics, a new deliverable in the product. We're adding, further enhancements within every release. And again, if you haven't had a look at that, please do. As we look to the next releases, we'll be looking at auto netting and auto settlement within the intercompany framework. In cash management, one of the most important features that we're working on is our auto cash application. So again, being able to bring your cash and bring that in and apply that to payments within the system automatically without human intervention. Looking at extending fixed assets within the core, really rounding out some additional capability. We've added some new features for France in fixed assets, as well as Japan, but moving that more into the core of the products, the heart of the financials ledger as we move forward. Under the general financials umbrella, we've got a big development underway, and we'll be delivering on around period close management, so more effective period close capabilities, through to global support across currency settlement capability, which obviously is quite important as well with auto cash application. From an operational support perspective, time and expense, additional credit card integration. We've spoken about the initial release of that with American Express. And then again, moving into analytics, Suite Analytics workbook for controllers. And then looking a bit further ahead, even more into the future, a new intercompany workspace and intercompany projects, looking at cash management, looking at a new payment capability. So again, payments automatically from NetSuite in a new reimagined way, all initiated from the core product, which will support many things in terms of lockbox, ACH, and electronic payment methods. Looking at corporate performance management under the compliance heading. General financials, building more on a centralized ARAP capability. Global support, one of the things that we'll be doing is doing some more work around Oracle, connectors. We're adding the Oracle Integration Cloud into NetSuite with pre-built connectors through to other applications, through to operational support with consolidated payments, PayLink on invoice, so issuing invoices with a link that customers can click and make payment through the invoice. And then, really working on in the analytics and intelligence and experience space on a new mobile finance app and new mobile approvals. So, lots of work happening. And of course, I'm, concentrating here on just a small element of the total capability within NetSuite. So as I say, moving into other areas of the platform as well. So, many more new and exciting announcements to come. So that kind of brings me to the end of my session. Again, as usual, there's a lot of information to absorb. And I truly appreciate you spending time with me, listening to some of the things that I've covered today. There will be an opportunity to come back to me with questions. I think we'll be hosting another session, where we can, get a bit more interactive with questions and feedback from our customers, to get feedback on what we're delivering. So, I'm more than happy to, take questions. If customers would like to speak to me about any areas of interest, then I'm happy to do that. I'd urge everybody again to take a look at the 20.2 release. Please reach out to Kai and the Staria team to look at the extended range of features that we're delivering and to see if there's anything else there that you can utilize. So thank you very much for your attention. I hope you found some of this useful. I hope to speak to you all again. And again, enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you very much.